Before I begin, I just want to mention that these are officially unofficial names to the quote-unquote mechanics. The devs haven't really mentioned the exact names of the official abilities, so the Doomfist community kind of just threw names at them, and we just go with those names. Like the slam that shows the indicator and the slam that doesn't show the indicator, they have a bunch of different names to them, and you just pick what you like best. Now, when a new bug is discovered on Doomfist, or an old bug, and someone finds a way to replicate it and create a tech out of it, they usually give it a name and everyone goes with that one single name. For example, I gave the name for diagonal punching and pretty much everyone calls it diagonal punching or diags for short. I still see some people call it something else, but majority of the community calls it diag or diagonal punching. So if you do find a way to replicate a bug and just give it a name so it doesn't get 20 different names to it, and it'll just make everything a lot more less confusing because really there isn't official names to any of these things. These are just officially unofficial names to all of these texts. This is arc slam, normal slam, grounded slam. Everybody has a different name for that. I just personally call it arc slam, where you just press E. So this also has a bunch of different names for it. I personally call it indicator slam, but it's also known as dive slam, direct slam, and homing slam. It's pretty much the slam that shows the indicator. This is usually known as a balance spot. It's pretty much when you go on a spot and you balance yourself on there. I don't think anybody's ever named this. I personally call it a 4-second bounce, and it's pretty much when you're balancing and your character doesn't move for 4 seconds and you get a bounce. You could move your crosshair and stuff like that, but your character just has to not be able to move at the balance spot at all. So there's balance spots where your character kind of just gets pushed to the side or it gets pushed towards a certain direction just by standing on there. But if you do hold a key and you look at a certain direction, you can lock yourself, and this will let you get that 4-second bounce. It works any direction. You just have to find the exact key and you have to find out which direction you need to look at while holding that key to get that bounce. So this is known as bouncing. It's pretty much when you use your rocket punch and you press space right before you hit an object, a wall, or anything, and your character just bounces into the air. This is called double slam. It's pretty much a indicator slam and a arc slam combined together. It's a frame perfect thing. It's not really useful. So this is called a falling diagonal punch or a falling diag. It's pretty much when you charge your rocket punch and you walk backwards and your character is about to fall off and you let go of your punch and you end up doing a diagonal punch. This is a downwards diagonal punch. It's pretty much doing a diagonal punch but you're going downwards. This is a falling downwards diagonal punch. It's pretty much a downwards diagonal punch, but you're doing it while your character is falling. This is a jump diagonal punch or a jump diag. You have to press space and let go of your rocket punch at the right time to get a diagonal punch. You also don't have to be in front of the object to do this. You can actually be at a little distance. This is a jump slam. It's pretty much when you jump and you press slam. It just gives you more damage out of your slam. This is called a late slam. It's using the indicator slam, but you're pressing the slam as late as possible, which is going to allow you to get caught on some walls or multiple walls, and this increases the damage of your regular indicator slam. This is called a one-frame slam. It's pretty much pressing your slam button at the last frame before your indicator is completely gone. This lets you get caught on the wall and you fall straight down onto the ground with a high amount of damage. So this is hop slam. You pretty much go to an edge, you hold control or your crouch button, and you jump and you press your slam button as soon as possible. And for one, this lets you get more damage out of your indicator slam. So this is rocket punch cancel. It's pretty much when you press space during your rocket punch animation. This lets you get more distance. This lets you set up for uppercut combos. This lets you bounce off of objects. And if you also hold space and tap right click, it will instantly cancel your punch. This is called turn punching. It's when you charge your punch and you look at a certain direction like left or right and you tap space. This cancels your rocket punch and it lets you go towards the direction you're looking at. This lets you do a uppercut combo around a corner. This lets you do a turn punch into a bounce. You can combine it with many things. This is called a wall slam. It's basically using your indicator slam to get caught on walls intentionally, and this lets your character drop straight down with a lot of damage on your slam pretty much. So this is an uppercut bounce. It's when you uppercut and you hit a edge of a roof or anything like above you pretty much. You have to hit the edge. It pushes you forward. This is useful for two things. It lets you get out of spawn quicker, and you can actually hit people in front of you with uppercut like really far, like maybe a tracer distance. Like let's say there's somebody 7 meters in front of you, you uppercut and your character hits the roof and your character flings forward, you can hit that person with your uppercut pretty much. So this is a reverse uppercut bounce. It's the same thing as an uppercut bounce, but you go backwards instead of forwards. Why would you want to do this? I don't know. So this is a uppercut slam. It's very situational if you ever want to use it. Like, let's say you're in a locked room or whatever and you're fighting somebody. Don't slam and then uppercut them. Uppercut them and then slam. You'll get way more damage out of your slam and you'll actually do more damage in the long run. So this is the only use I can technically see for this trick. This is a stair slam. It's pretty much when you're on stairs and you slam and your character kind of slides along the stairs, and this actually increases the damage of your slam. This used to be a trick known as crouch slam, but it got patched and now it works on stairs for some reason. You don't have to crouch though. It works on inclines as well. Okay, so this is a bit complicated. This is called a Meteor Void. It usually happens when you try to use your Meteor Strike at a very low height, or it can happen when you Meteor Strike near an edge of a spot where you can fall off the map. Now, Meteor Void is actually useful for getting fares in the air. You can also get like anybody in the air pretty much. But before I explain all of this, you can also save yourself from death by holding your uppercut button while your character is falling down with Meteor Strike. So this red circle you see is just Doomfist regular Meteor Strike. And this is what Doomfist Meteor Void looks like. So pretty much if there's a Pharah in the air, like as high as she wants to be, I'm pretty sure there's an infinite height to this. I'm not 100% on that, but if they're really high in the air and you use a Meteor Void, you can hit them, and you just have this giant cylinder of damage pretty much. This is called a stuck spot. It's not the same as a balanced spot or a spot. A stuck spot is a spot where your character gets stuck. You can't crouch or jump or wait 4 seconds to get that bounce. You're completely stuck and your character just shakes really crazy. And the only way to get out is to use any ability.
Rising uppercut.
This is called a bunny hop. Basically, it lets you carry a little bit of momentum from canceling your rocket punch. It's just a little difficult to do on Doomfist, but once you get used to it, then it's pretty easy. So how do you know if you got the bunny hop technique down? Well, after you cancel your rocket punch and you press space right when you touch the ground, you should instantly hop. If there is a small delay before your character hops, that means you didn't do a bunny hop. So this is what a bunny hop looks like. This is not what a bunny hop looks like. This is called Meteor Pad. If you use your ultimate normally onto a bounce pad, your character will be standing on the bounce pad without bouncing. This is a different version of Meteor Pad, but when you zoom out in Doomfist Ultimate and you land your ultimate on the bounce pad, your character will hit the bounce pad and bounce into the air. This is called Wall Slide Punch. If you punch walls at a certain angle, your character will slide along the wall instead of impacting the wall. This is useful to surprise people with unexpected punches since you won't be in their line of sight. This is called a slam bounce. It uses your regular arc slam to glide off of objects to get more damage out of your arc slam. If you use a slam bounce on an object that you can't stand on, you can give yourself a bounce, which just means you will get more damage. The thing with slam bounce is the height and distance of an object can affect the way your slam bounce works. Certain objects might require you to jump and then slam, or some objects might require you to be at a further distance, or you might have to look at it at a certain angle, and so on. This is called Slide Slam. It's when you press space and your slam button at the same time while being on stairs or an incline, and it gives you a crouch slam effect going down the stairs. This is called a downwards bounce. You're using your head to bounce off of the object above you, and it pushes you downwards. So this is actually one of my favorite bugs that I like to abuse. It's known as the 4-second one-shot. It's what makes Doomfist very overpowered. The fact that you can one-shot someone in 4 seconds actually blows my mind. Just imagine if there was a hero that can do it every 1 second consistently across the map with minimal risk involved. It would be insane. So that's pretty much every single Doomfist tech that exists currently the moment this video has been created. I'm going to be explaining how to combine these techs into combos, and I just want to explain that you don't need these techs to be good at Doomfist. You don't need to abuse any of these bugs to be good at Doomfist. You don't need anything in this video to actually be good at Doomfist. That's the thing. A lot of people think that they need to know how to do all of these techs and stuff to be good at Doomfist. You don't. You could just punch bot people. You could just do his slam and uppercut combo and climb to Grandmaster or higher with Doomfist. You don't need these techs. This is just stuff that you might want to know. It might help your play style. You might like certain techs. You might use them. You might not. It doesn't matter. I personally, I have a rollout playstyle, so I enjoy using these techs and stuff to go for kills, even though you don't need them.